Okay, so in that last video, we went through and found the exact form for stuff like sine of 30, and that was just 1/2. Sine of 60, that was root 3 over 2, and we completed this little chart. So I recommend memorizing this. Knowing these special angles are going to help a lot whenever we start looking at our unit circle definition for sine and cosine. So remember the pattern. Sine just goes up. It's 0 over 2, root 1 over 2, root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, and this one's root 4 over 2. Okay? And cosine does the same thing, but it counts down. Now, I went ahead and made this chart right here. I call this the spiderweb chart. It's just another way of organizing this information. All right, you've got your 0 degree angle, your 90-degree angle, and then all those angles in between. All right, your 30-degree angle, 45, and 60-degree angle. This is the way that I learned my trig functions. So like this spot right here would be sine of 30 degrees, and so it's 1/2. Anyway, it's another way that I like to display those exact answers. Right? Notice that sine kind of winds up, uh, cosine winds up this way. Okay, it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and get into what we're doing right now. So I'm wanting to find the answers to these questions in exact form. All right. So what we're going to do is just convert these using our little chart, and then we'll answer the question. We'll work it out, simplify it. Okay, so sine of 30 is going to be 1/2. So I'm doing 1/2 multiplied by tangent of 60. Tangent of 60 is root 3. And so you just multiply straight across for fractions. This is going to give us root 3 over 2. That would be our answer in exact form. And if you type this into a calculator, it should match whatever this comes out as in a calculator. All right, sine of 45 squared plus the cosine of 45 squared. This one you're going to be so familiar with later in the class, you won't even hesitate to answer what this is. Okay, so sine of 45 is root 2 over 2, and we're going to square that plus cosine of 45 squared. It's going to give us the same answer. Okay, so when you're squaring this, you're just multiplying it by itself, or you're squaring each piece. So root 2 over 2 squared just becomes 2, and then 2 squared is 4, and you get that same thing for cosine part squared. This is going to be 4 over 4, which is 1. All right, and this will always be true no matter what your angle is. This is an identity that's worth familiarizing with. All right, sine squared of any angle plus cosine squared of the same angle should always be 1. All right, cosecant of 60. So to answer cosecant questions, you need to convert it to sine. So this is going to be 1 over the sine of 60. Basically, you're going to find the answer for sine of 60, but then flip that answer. Okay, so it's 1 over sine of 60 was root 3 over 2. 1 over root 3 over 2, which is just going to be the reciprocal of root 3 over 2. So it's 2 over root 3. That'd be our answer. All right, if you rationalize the denominator, you're going to get 2 root 3 over 3. Cool. All right, cotangent of 0. This is 1 over tangent of 0. And remember, tangent of 0 was 0. So what you get here is 1 over 0, which is undefined. Okay. All right, now I want to apply this to a couple of triangles. We're going to solve for the missing side of this triangle, but we're going to write our answer in exact form. So I've got the opposite, and I've got, you know what? Actually, I want to do, because this one would be so easy. Yeah, this one would be super easy. I want to do this leg instead. So I've got the adjacent that I'm solving for, and I have the hypotenuse, so I'm going to use cosine. I'm going to do cosine of 30 is equal to x over 14. Now, instead of typing this into the calculator to see what cosine of 30 is and just multiplying by 14, I'm going to write my answer in exact form. All right, cosine of 30 is root 3 over 2. So I got root 3 over 2 is x over 14. And now I can just multiply by 14 or cross multiply. Let's cross multiply. Let's do that. That's going to be 2x. And this is going to be 14 root 3. And then you just divide by 2. That's it. So our answer for x is going to be 7 root 3. All right, that would be the exact form for that. All right, we'll do one more. This one, we're going to solve for this leg. So if I have the opposite and I'm solving for the adjacent, I need to use tangent for that. So I'm going to say tangent of 60 degrees is 6 over x. And, I could multiply through by x and then divide by tan of 60. I'm going to do this in exact form. What's tangent of 60? Tangent of 60 is root 3. Root 3 is equal to 6 over x. I guess I could, just put this over 1 and then cross multiply again. All right. 1 times 6 would be 6. And then x times root 3 would be root 3x. And then I would divide by this root 3. So the answer is 6 over root 3 for what x is. If you rationalize the denominator, what's that going to be? It's going to give us 6 root 3 over 3. Oh yeah, I'm glad I'm rationalizing because this one's going to turn out to a nice answer. Divide by 3 here, and that's going to give you 2 root 3. That's equal to x. Alrighty, there's a couple applications for you. This is just allowing us to find the exact answer for what x is rather than just whatever that decimal form would be.